Dean hugged his family before testimony began, something prosecutors pointed out Atatiana-Jefferson's family couldn't do with her.
That was the last time I saw my sister.
Atatiana's brother sharing the photo of their final moments together, while her sister Ashley talked about the impact her death had on 8-year-old nephew Zion, who saw Aaron Dean shoot her.
Sometimes he wakes up and frightened. Sometimes he wakes up crying where he can't understand why he's uncontrollably crying.
The forensic psychologist who interviewed Dean as part of the hiring process for Fort Worth Police says Dean is a narcissist and controlling.
My conclusion was that he was not psychologically suitable to serve as a police officer.
Prosecutors called a woman who had an encounter with Dean at the UTA library 18 years ago. She says she filed a police report after he touched her inappropriately.
I was deeply upset. I was, again, very taken aback. I told him immediately that he was making me uncomfortable.
Dean pled no contest and paid a fine. His attorneys called his church friends, mother, and siblings to talk about a different side of him. They say he is humble, smart, and a talented musician who directed church Christmas programs.
Humble servant would be a good way to describe him.
His family says he has abided by the rules while out on bond for the last 3 years, and if the jury gave him probation, he would comply with all the conditions.
Aaron is not the one who goes and skirts around the rules.
But prosecutors say he should go to prison for the maximum of 20 years for taking the life of an innocent woman in her home. Both sides will give closing arguments on Monday morning, and then the judge will give the jury the sentencing guidelines. Dean faces up to 20 years in prison or as little as probation. Meanwhile, he will sit in the Tarrant County Jail until the jury decides his fate. In Fort Worth, I'm Rebecca Lopez.